Welcome to the Provider Vault, where we're going to dig into our archives, share some never seen before footage and some epic yarns from amazing memories we've made on the moana with Whanau, that is, friends, family and clients. I hope you enjoy. This is a great way to kick off with an epic day out with the whānau. They say the early bird gets the worm. Today, well, we're a little bit slower out of the traps and got the boat in about 1 or 1:30 in the afternoon. And being February, a little bit of a sea breeze had come up on top of an easterly sea and a little bit easterly wind as well, but the water was blue and it looked pretty promising. We had 2 things to tick off. My son Oscar caught his first marlin when he was 9, and now in his early teenage years at 14, with a bit more muscle, a bit more height, was talking about catching another one. And he said for a few weeks, "Do you think we should go catch another marlin, Dad?" And my daughter, not so much into her fishing these days. She's a keen diver and photographer and environmentalist, so she was more interested in getting out and having a scuba dive, getting the GoPro out. So we had a look earlier on the way out, see if there's any baiting close for a marlin. The water looked blue, looked promising. The tide was still running, so I said to Oscar, well, let's wait and do the fishing later on the change of the tide. And we'll come back to this spot. It looks really promising. You would have seen at the start of the video there was a trawler working, which, you know, us wreck fishermen can get a little bit up in the arms when we see the bottom trawlers going through, but you know, that is a sign that probably is the right place if there's feed there. And there were gannets and there were bait, so we thought we'd come back and thought we'd get the scuba dive in. The viz looked tremendous, so headed to the Aldermens to Flat Island Hongi order, and the water looked amazing, as you can see here, for the diving. And so we got the dive in early, and as you can see here, there's kohuru everywhere. Beautiful, stunning water. I mean, the water is as good as any tropical dive I think I've done. Had to be pushing over 30 metres of visibility, up towards 40. Definitely, you know, you get those days where it's 30 metre viz, but this was another level altogether, which boded pretty well for the marlin fishing. It's one thing to be on the water, it's another thing to be immersed in it. Get that whole other perspective of what goes on underneath the surface. So relaxing, scuba diving. All you can do is breathe. Breathe in, breathe out. Can't hold your breath. And it is my meditation. And if anyone hasn't learnt to scuba dive, I'd highly recommend it. If anyone hasn't been for a while, I'd highly recommend getting back out there. It is a whole nother world. I'd highly recommend getting your children into it at a young age as well. Bella has been scuba diving since she was 12 and has gone on since to study marine science. We dropped off a drop-off on this dive, really nice drop-off into about 30 metres, and then came back up into the shallows, had to play with some sandaggers, wrasse and other marine life. Found some shrimps on a wall, found a crack with a couple of crays in it to take home for dinner. Got a few kinner for a bit of a feed on the boat. And as you can see here, just the diversity of life and colour that you see as well, and even just you'll hear in the background some of the sounds, obviously regulated, but the crackle, the kinner, getting the kelp. It's just a whole nother world. When Tairua turns it on, it really turns it on. When the Aldermens turn it on, they turn it on. And not only had Bella and I had this amazing blue water dive, probably one of the best blue water dives both of us had ever done, we're about to go look for a marlin. fat kinners, and some crays. So I ticked off my Valentine's Day promise for Tia. A couple of crays for dinner. There you go, darling. Now, ironically, we're punching to the game fish. We just hit the plane, headed to where the gannets were, and we probably made our way 2/3 of the way back to shore. Can you believe it? We weren't punching out game fishing past the Aldermans. We were going back to Tairua. I mean, these workups were straight off Boat Harbour. Gannets going in, literally in line with Super Island, 2/3 of the way home. And the gannets were moving fast, hitting the water at speed. Plenty of gannets there, and you know there weren't any dolphins, so something has to be pushing the bait up, and chances are it is marlin. And there are a few boats there to begin with, and they started thinning out, and there's us and one other, and it's getting late in the day. You know, we only left at 1 o'clock, and we'd fitted in this awesome dive, now looking for a marlin, and you know, we just had to do some zigzags, work the area, mow the lawns, and hope that we're going to get eaten. And then like that, we were on. The Bonds Trojan on the short rig got smoked, and Oscar was on the rod and into it. And it's come a long way since his first game fishing chapter. And yeah, did the awesome yards, winding hard, got all the winds when he's supposed to, and did very quick work at getting this marlin to the bait. Very proud of him. 14 and looking like a pro on the reel. The question is, what were we going to do with it? I'm all for taking a striped marlin for a kai. They're beautiful eating fish. We'd had a good day on the water, and we had some kai to take home already, and we'd been lucky enough to land a couple of marlin already in the season, so we made a team decision to actually let this one go and finish the day on a nice note, letting a beautiful fish like this go. In the event we got it to the boat, still had a bit of work left to put in on this fish, and it appeared to be a chunky one. Something awesome I love about game fishing is the teamwork. Got to be in good communication with each other, and everyone does something. You got someone on the wind, and someone driving the boat. You know, you got someone on the deck keeping everything safe, holding on to the angler if need be, taking some photos, keeping them encouraged, getting them some water. And these are the times you'll remember when your kids get old, you get old, look back at these amazing memories that you've made, and what a day it was. Blue water dive and tagging and releasing a beautiful striped marlin, and blue water, probably the closest ever to shore I've seen a striped marlin landed and released. Just awesome. Nature once again providing the goodness.